Hello, everyone. I think we can get started. First of all, thank you, everyone, for finding time on a Saturday afternoon and joining this session. Thank you for the registrations. Uh, you must be thinking that there would be a lot of questions around why is this organization conducting this program? What will they benefit if they train us? Is there any hidden agenda? Why is this free? Will they charge us anything hidden? Is this program too good to be true? Things like that would come to your mind. I would answer all of that before we get started so that we all are in the same space and we can have a good session on the hottest topic that is going on today, which is AI. So we, as Digitran, I'll give you a little brief about my firm. I myself, my name is Subrat Kumar Sen, and I'm the founder of the firm named Digitran, which was established in 2023. And we were working more around content marketing and working with the enterprises for their software building on the digital marketing side and things like that. My experience ranges from working with big MNCs like Deloitte, PwC, Accenture, Infosys, and I have over around 16 years of experience. I have seen the ups and downs in the industry in the past 1.5 decade, and I would like to share my experience here with all of you. Uh, so why this program? I mean, you all have been hearing about a lot of disruption that is happening in the market with the invent of AI, and I also feel that you all would be feeling the uncertainty about jobs, about the new set of work that will be hitting us in near future. So, in order to in order to help you all with the uncertainties and how you can pave your path in the future, we have come up with this course of action, and we are arranging this program, which is a free 100 hours of AI learning with one of my renowned colleague named Ranjan. He has around 16 years in the industry and he has been working on the same field. I'll take a few minutes to give a brief introduction about him, and we'll give him uh, uh, pass it on to him to speak further on why AI. So let me first share a deck and then we can get started. Mostly, if let me know once you are able to see my screen. Hope I'm audible. Can I get a confirmation from any one of you that I'm audible and you guys are able to see my screen?
Yes, you are
Yes.
audible.
Okay, sure. Yeah, thank you. Yeah. So I would like to ask you before we get started, how many of you have already have started using any AI tool and are using any particular tool in your day-to-day life? Maybe you guys can unmute and speak, or if you like to type a message, that is also fine. Okay. Someone has wrote Copilot. Others? Okay. Okay. So it will be new for some of you, and some of you have already started using some of the tools, available tools, right? So if we see, if we keep a gauge on the current market situation. There is a lot of uncertainty. There is geopolitics that is coming into play. There is a lot of firing that is going on. We have been hearing, if we see the Economic Times, the data that has been given for the for India specifically for 24 and 25 is that there has more than 9,000 layoffs that has happened in 24 and more than 9.5 thousand uh, uh, layoffs that happened in 25. If we talk of the global data, it is around 665K and 1 million plus in 2025. Even the big techs are firing, but why is this for? This is because they are replacing the current workforce with AI agents, and AI is kicking in. So, in these uncertain times, what is it that we could do? Yeah. So within this uncertain times also there is a lot of opportunity. Recently, if you might have heard of Nandan Nilekani speaking in one of the forums, he said that even though the AI is getting away with a lot of jobs, it is also creating a lot of jobs, and it will keep creating jobs in future. So there are 170 million jobs that are going to be created by AI in the next few years to come. So keeping that in mind, I mean, this would be the new trend where uh, it is been heard from industry leaders that coding is something which is going to be obsolete. There are a lot of changes that are going to happen in the market. How do we embrace this change? And how do we create an opportunity within these uncertain times for us? That is where this course has been planned for, and this is a completely free of cost plan. And how do we get benefited? Because we are a firm who are working with many other enterprises. We are getting a lot of resource requirements, and we have seen that the search for AI generalist or someone who can work with the AI stack has increased a lot. And what we have thought of is, in this disruptive market, if we could go back and train people, help them, show them a path of how they can plan their journey for embracing AI. That is how we would also get a lot of resource pool for us, and that is why this program is meant for. Okay, so if we talk of the previous era, the track that has been the plan that has been laid for any engineer who is joining the corporate would be something like he would join as an assistant, and then he becomes a senior assistant, he become a executive, a manager, and then from the tech track he would move to the administrative track and the leadership track. So basically, that is something called a SME progression, wherein you become a subject matter expert with the time that you spend in corporate. But this gamut has changed. Now, instead of a subject matter expert, what need to become is a AI generalist, where you need to know a lot of stuff. Even if you don't have a tech background, you can do a lot of stuff using the tools that are available. And that is what we are going to see through in this whole program. Now, if we talk of a AI generalist, what is it about? So, AI generalist, there are certain levels. There are four different levels, or we can say five different levels through which you have to go through. So, level zero is more around exploring the tools. What is it that is available in the market? Okay, so you all must have been using ChatGPT, Grok, Perplexity, and all these. So, likewise, there are hundreds of other tools that are available, and I would like to know or hear from you, what are the other tools that you have used other than the ones that I named? So what are the things that you have explored till now? Can we have some names, please? Notebook. Okay. Anyone else? So you'll get to hear a lot in this session. So there are many based on what is it that you need to get your work done for. Say for example, you want to create a presentation, there is Gamma AI. You want to create a video track, there is 11 Labs, and there are many more. Based on what is it that you want to get done, you would find a lot of AI tools available in the market. Now, second level is know how the AI works. I mean, this is the level where you would explore how does it happen in the backend. If you are using ChatGPT, how does it respond back to you? What happens in the background? That is something you should know. The third level that you should come up with is more about knowing the reasoning models, uh, know more about LLMs, and then keep exploring them. You don't have to be an expert on any of these. You just have to know how they work, what are the available option, which is used for what, and how can that benefit you. The third level is knowing more about diffusion models, how to create images, how to create videos. Uh, Not only just creating image and videos for fun, how can you create them um, uh, uh, to sell them off? I mean, how can you use them to um, uh, so how can you use them to create a image or a video for your client who pays you for that? So that is where level 3 comes in, and then level 4 is what are the best LLMs to be used, and how do you get to them? So these are the various levels to become a generalist. We will all be talking about it. I may not be the right person to speak a lot on it. I would like to hand it over to Ranjan in a while, and he can speak more about it. So now, what are the opportunities that are there if we go through or if we become a AI generalist? So there are startup agencies who are looking for they have a lot of jobs. So basically, jobs around full-time video creation, copy ads, blog post, creative banners, SaaS platforms, and things like that. What is needed to get into these jobs is a good prompting skills. These are like less pay jobs, but also has low job security. Now, what is it that can have a better job security? It is the product or enterprise MNCs who provide these kind of jobs, which involved a full-time working with working as a agentic engineer, write new use cases for increasing revenue, increasing productivity, faster modernization, to solve complex integrations, and then help enterprises to evolve in the IT landscape. So this is what we would be targeting, and we'll talk more about it throughout the session. Now, when we talk of what is it that we can do with uh, AI, you all have already used ChatGPT, Grok, and platforms like that. So I was talking about video generations where or image generation where it can be used uh, um, for clients. So I'll give you I will give you a few examples where people have already started doing that, and just to give you what is possible, I'll share a few videos that are completely created using AI, and then we'll give you a sense of what to what extent AI has penetrated. Okay, so let me share my screen. Just a second. Yeah. Can you see the video? Can you guys see the video?
Yes.
Okay. Okay. I'll just run it.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Sure.
Sir, it is not audible, sir.
So not only is this video created completely using AI tools, also it shows the trend of how AI will take over in future when it comes to shopping, when it comes to delivery, when it comes to fashion, when it comes to how things will be in future. So this is a good example of how AI is taking over and what is the future that we would see in coming few years. I'll run another video. So this is another classic example of how a company can save. So in order to create this kind of ad, Jaguar would have spent crores in the past, but this is something which is completely done on AI without even going out of the room. This video can be created, and you can think of what is the kind of savings that a company can do if he can if they can create a engaging video like this without even going out to shoot, right? So now I would like to hand it over to Ranjan to take the session forward. Ranjan, can you take over?
Yeah. Thanks, Subhat. Am I audible?
Yeah, you are. Let me stop sharing.
Yeah. Good morning, everyone. Thanks for joining the session. Subhat
Ranjan,
already-
your voice is a little low. Maybe if you can speak closer to the mic.
Yeah, let me increase that. Is it good enough now?
Yeah, it is better now.
Okay. So I will be basically taking the sessions in depth, but as Subrat mentioned, in summary, what we are dealing with at this moment, in one word, I would call it as a disruption. And whenever disruption like this happens, it's not happening every day. It happens in, let's say, decades or centuries. So this time, every time everyone thinks this time is different, but this time is different. So we should take this seriously. And then, of course, this session is around that only to help our people to face things that are coming in the industry. So I will share my screen and then we can go through some demos because what Shubhrat just showed now, just a second, I will share the screen and then we can talk about it. First, let me introduce myself a little bit. Are you seeing my screen?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes.
So this is who I am. Basically, in one page, I try to put my experience, close to 16 years now. So currently, I'm working as an GenAI agentic architect. I've been working more than 11 years in Europe. Apart from my regular job, I've done many complex projects in banking and finance domain, capital markets, led many teams across countries, like talk about working with Indian colleagues, working with Poland, Belgium, French, US. Then a lot of projects which involved people working in different countries. So I also understand the cultural mindset and those kind of things, not only technology, but also dealt with business owners, stakeholders who are uh, they sometimes don't want to spend money, sometimes they don't care about spending money. So it's all kinds of mix of people which I have dealt in this 15 plus years of experience. So in this training, I will also talk about those things. It's not only the technology that we should be aware of, it's also how we, using technology, can build a personality in any organization, that the organization treats us like the top 1% of the people and not like the 99%. So that should be also our focus in this whole course. So I've basically helped many corporates apart from the regular job in upskilling and reskilling their workforce in domains like full stack development, cloud, and AI. And then, of course, apart from this, I've been also training on different other platforms. You can see the many edtech platforms, Udemy, O'Reilly, Pact, and all these are the platforms. There are many more which have added to the list now recently. This is not an updated one. And also trained individual colleagues who are also now working in big organization, and they are doing good there. Um, and of course, if you see here, now I'm basically focusing mostly on the AI part and the Gen AI part. And this has been all my tech skills so far, certifications, and also my participated in many international hackathons. We have won around 10 of them. And these are my credentials. You can find me in all these places. The reason for showing this is uh, one, of course, I will bring a lot of industry experience to you, real world use cases with real world situation, which is needed for day to day job, but also uh, trying to make some kind of awareness that only doing your job is not going to help. You should also try to think out of the box and do something else apart from the job assigned. And then, of course, you will grow in the organization. So, that being said, I will go to the slide deck. So, that covered some of it. So I will try to ask one question. Basically, what do you expect from this course? I showed my profile, but what do you expect from this course? Can all of you write some things in the chat? Or if somebody wants to unmute and talk, please go ahead.
I think let's make this session a little more interactive because it is not something which would really help you listening from someone and then making notes and keeping it aside, because this is not that kind of a session. This is more of an interactive session where you would take away a lot of learning only when you interact and only when you follow along and um, start operating. I mean, start doing practicals. So can you please guys speak up and interact?
Yeah. Thanks, Subha. I see Krishna wrote he needs to switch a career in GenAI. Definitely, that's a very good uh, ask. So, Krishna, can you maybe a little bit unmute and explain what you are doing now and why do you think switching career is an idea?
Sure, Ranjan. I have been facing these issues. Like I have faced this issue. The technology changes. Like I started my IT career in 2015, and it was all about data warehousing at that time. Mm, and by the time I got stabilized to data warehousing, cloud came. So now currently I'm working with Azure Data Engineer, but now I'm seeing that it is also getting obsolete. So for the next 10 years, I guess genetic AI will be there to survive in the market. And to get into the role as early as possible, like it will be beneficial for me. And at the starting phase, it's easy to enter into the market.
Yeah,
So
well said. I think every one of us or most of us can relate to that. There's always a uh, disruption that when that happens, right? There's a trend, and at the start, if you catch the trend at the start, you are the most benefited. But 19% of the people come to join the trend at the end of the trend, and there you find a lot of competition, but also uh, there's people are not going to give you that salary that they would provide you at the start of the trend. So very good one. Madhuri, maybe you want to elaborate on why on the
Yes,
points?
Ranjan.
Yes.
So it's been 10 years in the industry. What I have known is it is very important to be aware of what is going in the market. So I am seeking that thing from this session, as well as the main thing at the end of the day when you go to sleep, right? We need to feel secure. So somewhere in this industry, what I have felt is, uh, if you don't learn new thing every day apart from what you're doing, it has brought a kind of insecurity in me. So learning every thing that is new in the market is very important. That's what I'm seeking from this course as well. Learning new things about AI, and then upskilling myself, so that I can be there in the future. So yes, I'm looking that thing from this course, because I want to be there in this industry, at least for next one more decade, and then this will be the future of my children. So I want to be, aware of what will be going on.
Yeah,
Yeah, so that I pass it to my next generation as well.
great. Yeah, thanks. I
Thank
think
you.
well said, because this is not only a disruption in the job market, but it is going to be also changing our life. And soon we may be also working with robots in the office together, because China is already ahead and they are doing this. So other countries, also India, will also adopt that to be in the race. So yeah, we should be very well prepared. So now I will again go to the slide which Subrat shared. This is a type of job. The first one, startup agents. This is not for us. People who are in IT industry and want to stay in the long run in the race. This is something we should avoid. These are for gig workers or people who want to earn quick money. Of course, this if you are into the second category, which is where you work for enterprise, then you can easily do this. It's no rocket science. It's just prompt that you want to learn. But some people will sell you course or show ads that learning prompt engineering will get you this that. Those you should not trust. Those are just hype, and learning that is not going to end up anywhere, because everyone knows prompt engineering. You don't even have to know prompt engineering. You can just ask Copilot to create prompt for you and fine tune it, or you can ask Gemini to do that. So we should be focusing here. This is where we should be there, to at least be safe for next, I would not say 10 years, but 5 years. Because in 2022 November, this whole chat GPT came, and we are just now in February. You see how things have changed. The intelligence has moved from just chatting to now taking actions. And in China, they have also put into robots, and now robots are dancing or fighting, running. So in just 3 years' time, it has changed so much. So I cannot predict what will happen in next 10 years. But at least next 5 years is what you can be sure of. If you are in this category, you will still have a job. The reason being, many organizations are still in the legacy world, using mainframes and those systems. And now the transition was slow. The modernization project was done with humans, and then IT services companies were bidding, and it was years of project. But now with this AI kind of Gen AI and the plugins and the tools, like companies like Anthropic, they are building, this transformation, which was taking, let's say, 5 years, can be done in 6 months to 1 year now. The reason being, you as a developer don't have to go and understand the legacy. The system, the AI agentic system, will do that understanding and give you the transformation equivalent of the old system in the new world also. But what your job will be there basically to oversee this process, or understand the complete IT landscape of that system, understand the integrations, and then create a robust architecture, or in that architecture, suggest what can be improved. Because AI will not think from that perspective yet, like the experienced people who are design enterprise systems or know the implications of security, performance, and cost. AI will help you in some way, but AI will not help you in many other ways. So those are the ways we have to capitalize. So at least for next 5 years, company will try to do this. They were already doing it. They were moving from the old to COBOLs and mainframes to cloud-based systems, cloud-based microservices architecture, decoupled system. But that was slow, and now this will accelerate. And that's where even the IT services company in India, of course, there's a hype now. They will die. They will die. They will die. They will not die. They will still cease. They will exist, but not in the shape and form as we see today. Like 6 lakhs, 5 lakhs, 4 lakhs. It won't be that much of the strength. Maybe they will reduce to half. The company which has 6 lakhs strength today will be having 3 lakhs in maybe a couple of years or uh, 3 years. And in with this 3 lakhs people, they would like to get these kind of projects done. So the client will ask for more for less money. So they will reduce the headcount, and with the existing headcount, they will ask people to get these skills if they want to stay, and then get companies achieve this kind of migration. So this migration projects will be a key area which we are already seeing. And then, of course, new use cases for generating revenue. How can the companies earn more? And then how can the day-to-day uh, work can be more productive? So those are the other areas this agentic AI or Gen AI is already helping. I will not say it will help, already helping. I will show you what I mean by that. But then yes, and then you should basically have good practical knowledge. So current industry experience will help you also in future. And then this kind of jobs will be really highly paid. And then high growth will be also there. It's not just you get paid today, but every year you will get a good salary raise. Skill set will be very diverse. It can be ranging from now we treat data analyst, data scientist, then machine learning engineer, then we say generative AI engineer, agentic engineer. This boundary will be disappearing. Slowly, you will be the machine learning engineer, you will be the Gen AI engineer, you will also do data science work. Everything you will be expected from you. You will also do the model training, fine tuning, and model deployment. And you will be also building tools around the existing models that you have built, or you are using bigger models like which is provided in the like Gemini or GPT or Anthropic Claude models. So this boundary will also disappear slowly in the next 5 years. So humans will be expected to become superhumans, and then the current world humans will be replaced by this intelligence system. So that is where we are heading to. Uh, we could go into the course, but what I would like to do is show some demos. These are few of them. There are many more demos that are planned in the course, which we will show in between to keep you all motivated. Because this course will be completely hands-on, full hands-on course, practical understanding, everything with the reason why you are learning this and what benefit it will give it to you. Because this is exactly your company, in the boss on your company will ask, why exactly I should spend money in this? What benefit it will give me? So you have to also build solutions, which I said, new use cases for increasing revenue. So there you should know. You should first try to find identify problems. Problems can be in the IT landscape, the normal SDLC DevOps lifecycle of the organization, or problems can be also in the product or service that company is selling. Let's say if you are working for a bank as a client, the bank is selling some product or service, right? So can you add another product for the end customers of the bank, which can be cheaper or which is better than the competitor, or the competitor doesn't even have that. So if you're able to come up with an idea and create a small POC around that, then you will be in that 1% of the people in the organization. Similarly, increasing productivity. That's where I said we will also see many things which does this in the demo. But at this moment, companies are a little bit afraid to apply GenAI in the this world where the customer-facing applications they are not doing it yet. GenAI is implemented heavily now in the industry in the non-customer-facing use cases. In the customer-facing use cases, they have only gone until the chat support or the call support. Let's say when you call a organization, then the AI picks it up, and then you whatever you call or you complain about it, the AI understands that, and then the AI is creating a ticket in the system, problem system, and then it's summarizing the issue and categorizing it. To that level of use case, AI and GenAI has been implemented in the organization, but not yet in all the end consumers use cases because there's also a fear of image. If something goes wrong, that organization can go bankrupt. So the companies are now exploring slowly with robust products and features to go in those into those use cases. Recently, you must have heard many things coming with from Anthropic in the legal domain, in the finance domain, and also in the wealth management, where big companies charge huge money now to do wealth management of big institutions or organizations or individuals. Now, with a $20 subscription, uh, Anthropic has launched products that can do that. Same for legal analysis and legal suggestions. So their bigger corporates are now exploring products which, let's say, Anthropic is giving. Similarly, they will not directly go and use that. Maybe they will take that and then ask the internal Gen AI team to look into it and maybe build a wrapper around it or customize it or fine tune it to their company's use case or their industry use case. And that's where you will be also involved as a Gen AI engineer. So a lot is going to happen in that area. Let me show some demos. But before that, are there any questions?
Yes, I have question. Like,
Yes.
to start with this course, do I need to have any prerequisite like any languages or
Uh,
like which will help me to like grab this course more easily?
so I will tell frankly, you don't need any knowledge of any language because in this era where we have cursor, copilot, and from Google and this anti-gravity, you don't need to know a single line of coding also. Everything will be done by these systems. But in this course, we will learn about the technology, especially one language which is the core of all this AI, Python. We will learn that.
Yes.
Why we will learn that? If you were planning to open your own startup and build something, then it was fine. I could say just in this language, in this course, learn things, and you don't need to learn any language because you can always use Copilot and other things to optimize things. But because you will be also applying for jobs in the organizations will expect you to know the programming language, at least Python, because you are in this AI world. And that you should know. And then the next thing you should know is problem solving mindset.
Hmm.
So in this course, you don't need any prerequisite. I will teach you everything, but then you have to also go ahead and practice them. You will get many. Uh, we will do many projects, small projects, and then assignments also. But then you also have to practice that. And if you have practiced those, that is more than sufficient to survive when you switch your career as Gen AI engineer. you will be easily able to survive and take help of Copilot and other things to build solutions which will be according to the coding standards, security standards, and all other things of that organization. Because every organization, you all know, has pipelines which have stages to check the quality of different things. And in the GenAI world, it will be no different. It will also have the CI/CD pipeline where your code or the model, everything will go through. There will be scans happening around, even more scans. Now, until now, you were just doing coding, standard checks, security checks, those things. But now it will be more like if your GenAI is uh, under inside the guardrails of certain limits of that organization or industry, regulations, rules. So that will still be there. It's not disappearing. The whole software development life cycle. So then it is important for you to know this technology which you are using to build this GenAI things. So
Hmm.
in short, no prerequisite,
Hmm.
only attention is needed and hands-on is needed from all of you.
Uh, I have one more question. Sorry.
Yeah.
Currently, my job role is such like it's like it works on a ETL model. I have to pull the data from the sources. I have to do the clearing process, the make it the business ready data. Then I will use that, consume that report, that data in some reports. So if going further with AI, like my role will change, or this particular task which I'm currently working in Azure, that will change, or how it will be, like my work will change,
Yes.
or how it
Yeah.
will is it related to my existing job role?
Yeah. Let me quickly explain this picture, and then I will answer your question.
Sure.
Because now I think you must be using some kind of ETL, either Azure Data Factory or Azure
Yes.
PySpark, right? Or
Yes.
the Databricks kind of things, right?
Yes.
So as I said, now you are working as data science engineer, but slowly those roles will merge. You must have all of you must have observed initially in 2013-14 there was a front end developer role, there was a back end developer separate role, there was a DevOps role separately, tester role separately. But now it has changed. They need full stack developers role. They don't need front end or back end. They need one role. And slowly they are asking full stack with cloud also. Same way, it will happen now in the AI industry. There won't be any data analytics or data analysis role or data analyst role or data scientist role. They will expect the same person to do the ETL, expect the same person to fine tune a model, expect the same person to uh, do the benchmarking and testing of that model. If it doesn't pass, then redo the process again. And then if it passes, then deploy to the let's say the using the MLOps pipeline. You can be also asked to create those MLOps pipeline, and then you will be also doing the production support or the DevOps of that particular thing. So it will be everything will be slowly getting merged. You will observe this pattern maybe starting 2027, 28 itself. We don't even have to wait for 2030. The way
Yes.
it's moving fast, you will see the job description. It will be having many things. So that's why I will just say intelligence at this moment, we humans had intelligence and now intelligence has moved to machines. And so far intelligence has moved to machines inside a computer, inside software. It has not moved into hardware yet, at least for the whole world. It in China it has moved. They have moved this intelligence, artificial intelligence, inside the robots or humanoids, and also factory workers who are working now. The robots are working there as factory workers. But now this, at least for the other rest of the world, until and unless they don't go and buy those things from China, if they want to develop themselves, we have to understand what are the pillars of intelligence. First is data. A lot of data, huge data, can be from any form. In the past, you must have seen technologies like Hadoop, big data. All those were only concentrated here. But now those slowly those profiles disappeared. Now data scientists themselves have to do all those things. And the tech stack has changed. No more setting up a Hadoop file system and those things. No. The cloud solution providers have provided native solutions. Azure has provided it, AWS has provided this, Google has provided it. So you don't have to work on legacy tech. So no wastage of time on those tech. You focus on ETL process using the new tech provided by the cloud providers. And what you do is they have, for any organization, you have hundreds of ways you can get data, maybe from POS machine, from social media, from transaction data. So data is there. And then basically the company asks you to create some business model out of it. So what you do is use this data to introduce some kind of learning. Now it is human who are learning, but assume this is now what we are exactly. This is what we do, right? When we have kids, we have the data, we know, we have the knowledge on us, we transfer that to them, and with this data we train them. And slowly one day they start to also reason out. And how are they reasoning out? What they are learning from the data. Data we are training, they are seeing the outside world, they are learning from there. Same is exactly happening now. Now also, if you see the machines, initially it was, let's say, uh, OpenAI built a GPT model, so they provide a lot of data. But now, as soon as they open it to the world with Chat GPT, whatever we are typing, it is learning. Whatever we are asking, it's learning. In fact, in India, ChatGPT, the premium model is free for 1 year. Why? Because they want, because now that most of the data of ChatGPT, other things is trained with Western world data, but they can't do business only with Western world, right? They also want Asia, the Asia Pacific. So they are making things free here. So we are now training those models with our data. We are using it for free, but actually we are training it. Similarly, Facebook, Instagram, whatever we are using, all this data is getting, this is outside learning that's happening, not actively trained by those companies, but other people are training their model. Then the model starts to reason, like the kids start to reason. And then once they start to reason, they know, try to understand what is right, wrong. And finally, they will start to take also autonomous decision or actions. And this part is data introducing intelligence while learning, and then this process continuously loops. Reasoning is where we are today. The GPT, the we are having the pre-trained transformer models or the LLM models. They are reasoning. They were reasoning so far, and now with the agentic AI world, they are taking actions now. And now these actions are limited to booking, let's say, calendar or booking hotel, doing code review, or creating documentation, maybe multi-agent systems doing a lot more than that, running a complete small startup company, like they are getting the data, they are writing the scripts, they are writing the story, creating images, creating also pictures out of it. So then they are going to now they have started to take actions, and using these actions, that's what we are calling the world as agentic AI world now in this. And slowly these exact things are going to get into the robots, and the robots will be uh, people that, like in the video also you saw, they were the humanoids. They are taking doing actions, reasoning, thinking based on the activity that is happening around you. So now when this kind of transformation is happening, companies don't care about what technology you know or what you don't know. What they will ask is, I want to have this system to do this. Are you able to do that? And they will ask the HR team, if the HR team exists by then, or they will ask a set of agents to post those kind of job requirements, and that will have everything. Like you will be owner of this, who will be making sure this happens. And there you all these roles will you will see merge as data scientists, data engineers, all this will get clubbed together. Understood? That answers your questions.
Yes, yes.
Yeah, so of course you must be thinking, oh, we have to learn so much. But the problem now is we are not now in this era we are not having competition with humans anymore. Till now we were having only competition from humans. Humans sitting beside us, colleagues. We were having the, let's say, the review process of organization. going through is somebody getting good rating, somebody average, somebody bad rating. Slowly, we will have now competitions with non-humans, intelligent systems, which we are now calling agents, but we will call something else when they are in the hardware. And at that time, the problem with us humans have limitations in learning. We also have to take rest, eat, and we have our other schedule. But these systems are learning 24 by 7. They need only two things, internet and electricity. They all don't also have to eat. So that is the reason in this trend, this time it is different, like disruption. And you should catch the trend fast because there will be at the end of the trend, again there will be firing. Situation will come. Companies won't need that many agentic AI engineers also. Let's say 5 years down the line, they will only need few of them. So this is going to become more and more fierce competition in the market in upcoming time. Now it's not in the headlines and news, but you will be seeing things in job reports, and they're also not firing fast. There is a reason, political instability. But they will start soon because they can't see their revenues going down, stock market crashing. It is not going to happen for a long time. They will intervene some time. So we have to avoid going to that phase. We have to act beforehand. We have to stay ahead of the curve. At least for the next 5 years, whatever we have the job certainty, try to uh, reskill, have go into high growth jobs, high paying jobs, earn as much as money possible before we are also getting replaced. So that should be our goal, and that's the goal of this course also, and we should move in that direction. So I will just pause for 1 minute and then we will start with the demo. Meanwhile, if there are any questions, please put it in the chat.
It's a humble request to put forward your questions, your doubts, because this is not a kind of session where we have an agenda to deliver something and then once we are done, we close the session. It's not like that. So unless we understand what is your need, what is it that you are seeking from the course, we would not be able to help you much. So better come forward with your questions and your doubts.
All right, let's continue. Can you all hear me and still with me?
Yes.
Okay. So of course we can be afraid about what is happening. We can be, I mean, we can ask government to do something, but then of course those things, you know what happens right at the end. So it's us who should act now, and we will share around, let's say, more than 50 demos at least, and you really all the use cases also throughout the course, which you can go and directly start using in your company, which means from day one itself, you will be ahead of the existing colleagues in your organization, and organization will come to know about your name. And as soon as they come to know about your name, that you are somebody who is doing use cases around agentic AI, Gen AI, and trying to solve certain problems, when the day comes for the firing, the list, your name won't be there. Instead, you will be always called for giving demos. How did you implement this? Can we have a use case like this? Can you help us there? There's a new project we are starting. Can you think and help us with how to optimize or increase productivity if using GenAI? So you will become, let's say, in fact, a star already. And then when the day comes of firing, you of course you won't be there in the list, but also you will be in a better list. You will be in a promotion list, by the way. So first demo, I think Subrat, if you can share your screen and maybe show a demo. So
Maybe Ranjan, can we move to the next one? I'll do the setup I'll join from the
sure.
mobile in a while. Yeah.
Yeah, so we will show you first demo later on, but let me show you the second one. So all these demos are are not as fancy as what you can think of creating AI with Google View or View or with Whisper creating something, or maybe with Mid Journey creating something, Runway ML. All those are software built by big companies. They are selling it for a subscription. But do you think the organization where you are working now and also the projects that you are doing, they can use those software? They won't, because those softwares are built by other companies with certain other trained data. And this big organization, they will not take the risk of using anyone else trained models until they completely do a thorough analysis and find those models are ethically AI, they follow AI ethics, they follow the government guidelines, they follow their business guidelines, and maybe they are also secure. And their data, when the company's data is used on those models, it won't get leaked. So that is the reason those more kind of learning is separate. As I said, the first category of job, startup or agency, and this kind of learning is different, which is enterprise. In enterprise, company may use certain models, but they can also say, I will not use the Gemini model or GPT or Claude model as is. Instead, I will take that model. I will ask my AI team or Gen AI team to host that model on the private cloud, which is, let's say, Azure Cloud or AWS or Google Cloud. Deploy that model locally into their let's region, so that this company's data is not going to directly to Microsoft or Google or this. Instead, it is staying within the hosted model, and then use that model to fine tune it further, or call via API to implement a use case. Or they can also decide to tune their or create a new model, train a new model. And that's where this agentic AI plus ML engineers jobs will continue to increase. Now I will show you a use case where there is this agent which can generate UI design with just you give either some description or give a example URL of a website. It will create complete web page design, single page or multi-page. And then you can also ask for variations, how many variations of those you want. So where this use case can help, now company employs many UX designer. They pay many thousands of dollars to them, and what they do is they just go on internet research and they create Figma designs. And then the front-end developers takes those Figma designs and they basically create code. So there's already a lot of lag time before the something can be seen or used. So with this kind of idea, UI UX prototyping agent, within seconds, you can create a design or the base design, and you can do the variations of it. And then you can ask your organization can which base design they like, and from there they can go ahead and start building on top of it, which means you don't need a super senior UX designer, you don't need a super senior front end developer. No, not required. With junior medias, or maybe if you were needing 5 of the UX designers, you might only need 2. You are having 20 front-end developers, you need only 5. So I will show you this use case, which you can already go and suggest to your project and the team. Yeah, this one. So this agent has created so many designs. Let's say the recent one which I just ran few minutes ago. I tried to replicate Subrat's website, like the Subrat's company organization website, Digitran, and it just did not copy it. It added its own mix of flavor. You see, it created this itself, and it left the spaces. It even created this animation. You see, this animation is doing the rotating box automatically without any. And I did not mention to do anything. I just gave a website link, and it is doing that. And you see, it wrote all the text also needed. It basically left the space holders for adding different icons, logos. It added the animation. Here also they left the space for adding the images. And it's just not this. It is fully responsive. If I click, it is fully functional. No intervention needed, nothing. It works out of the box. It is fully responsive. If I click on this, it goes to services section. There's not even a single pixel here and there. It made everything responsive, everything itself. I did not do anything. And this agent was smart enough to do this. This is one example of that it built. I will show you multi-page what it did. When I asked it to create a multi-page website with about home, everything in place. This is what it built. This is an about us page. It built it for a hotel company. Added all these animations. Also picked up images from open there are different Unsplash and those companies who are giving open source images. It created this page also. And now if I give something like this to a developer, right, and ask to move from here, it will be much more easier for my organization to do that. See, it created this also, the booking page, availability page. And it doesn't stop here. If I enhance it further, it will also back for it in which technology I want. And then what will the developer do? Company will ask. Next, multiple variations. So I can also show different variations. Yeah, for this example, I asked for different variation of the same website. So you must be wondering how we build this. It's very easy to build this. So this is a one variation it built for a website called Quantily, and I will show you the other variation. And this is the other variation of the same website. I did nothing. I asked the agent to just create multiple variations. Same way, let's say your business analyst in your project. You are business analyst, right? They know the requirements along with your product owners. They can use this agent and then ask it to create uh, something like this. Maybe they have some reference website example from competitor and they can give their own a little bit ideas. And this agent can go and build variations of it. And then they can choose one of them and ask the UX designer to maybe add the brands related things like the color and other things, the theming, and then the front-end developers can come and use Copilot to take this design, because this is also built in latest technology. It uses Tailwind CSS. You can also ask it to use just barebone HTML, CSS also. And the input this takes is in an environment variable. I just give, let's say, the link of the website. And if I don't, I can also give whether create full website with these pages. I just give the page name and it will create those pages. I can give variations, how many variations it should create. I can also customize and give my own variation. Let's say, as I was saying, the organization detail, right? If the organization has blue, sorry, orange, white theme or green, so I can mention all those details. So it will take, look at this website, it will create that many variations and then customize according to my needs. I can do further more things. There is no limit to this. So you can already see this small use case is going to eat away jobs of some UX designers and developers, front-end developers. So the next one is code to document generation. If you remember, I mentioned about this. This is going to be a very important thing for the next 5 years. Modernizing the existing legacy system, because mainframe systems are very, very, very costly. So every company wants to move away from mainframes. But unfortunately, 90% of the organizations who are dealing in finance and insurance and healthcare and airline system area domain or there, they are using mainframes under the hood. And mainframes are very costly. So they want to do this faster. To do this faster, what you need is, and mainframes are built since 70s, 80s, and on top of it, layers upon layers was built in COBOL and Fortran, those kind of language, or ZOS, the kind of operating system. And then finally, uh, technologies like Python came, Java came late in 90s. Then old Java and Python code still exist under the hood, which are talking to mainframe system. Today we are building wrapper on top of it. But now the organizations are going and asking to even remove those 80s, 90s code and then also slowly get rid of those mainframes systems. So that can become faster. How? Because those people who build those things in 80s, 90s, they are all gone. They don't exist in the company. The company has moved to the project from one vendor to another vendor. There's hardly any documentation. So then this agent can, if you use this agent, it will generate complete documentation, no matter which technology it is. It will generate the documentation for that project. It will create the flow diagram, sequence diagram, data flow diagram, class diagram, and then it will also explain about the code and other things in step-by-step manner. This is another agent which is built. I will show you that also. Let me show some examples of how it creates documentation. So let's say I give Jan this agent with this particular repository, which is a Java project, but you can build customize this agent to work on front-end project, Node.js or Python, .NET, PHP, mainframe, COBOL, Fortran, doesn't matter. In fact, in the architect, when you become architect also, or you're in the architecture role, you would definitely need to know the existing all the components and systems in the organization, and hardly document exists. Then you are dependent on developers to look into the code. You're dependent on other people to check. But you see, this created a nice document, and it created the chapter wise also the for understanding what the entities exist, how they talk to each other, explanation of everything. Which means if a new person joins the company or the project, they are not dependent on senior for KT anymore. There's no, earlier days people were not giving KT because they think they will give, if we give KT, our job will be lost, and they were trying to keep the knowledge to themselves. But now with these kind of things, you can't keep the knowledge. organizations, just imagine this agent integrated into the pipeline. You have your code pipeline, right? If I take this agent and integrate into the code pipeline as another stage, every time you build your code or merge something to the master branch, this agent will run and automatically update this document of those projects into a repository where anyone can go, freshers or experienced, even laymen can go and look into it and find the details they want. If you build a rack system on top of it, you can even chat with it that I want to implement this. Can you check in the whole organization if something like this already exists? Get me the best code. It will get you the best code. So you can take this to the next level. These are different agents built. I can also show you how to run one of them, but then let me quickly run it again. So now because this is just written in Python, so I'm showing this from Python. You can convert it even API in the front end, and then you can just put it in the text box. Now I'm running it like this. I want to run this agent, which is going to do the document generation. Hit enter, then it goes and fetches the all the files from that repository. Scrolling that repository, it will after getting those files, it will download them, and finally it will also do the review, or let's say it will understand what are the different files, what is the relationship between them. It will create all those understand exact same way. It will do that by understanding the dependency abstraction relationship, finally then creating the tutorial chapters for those. So you can already see how much it is going to benefit. And now what it did is, it after fetching 24 files, it created all the abstractions between them, then it created the documentation, and it kept the documentation under this folder. So this is another way. Same way you can run any other agents. I will show you others also. So UX prototyping, eating away few jobs. Document generation, removing the dependency with old senior people, and opening the whole gate of modernizing the legacy thing. So you can already go ahead and implement them in your company. There's also code review agent. It review the code. Then what you can do is you can generate test cases. Now let's assume you have this uh, everyone has testers, automation testers in the project. But the main problem that is now is automation testers or the testers in the project is busy, and most of the time when you work, you hand over your testing things to the tester at the end of the sprint, and he is too much occupied. And also the regression test script is not getting up to date, kept up to date. All these problems keeps coming. So what you can do is you can create a test case generation agent. Your every project has API specification. It will read that API specification. It will create the test case scenarios for all the positive, negative scenarios, boundary, edge cases, those things. You can even take this to the next level. Example, you write user story in Jira or Azure board or anywhere. Create an agent which will read the user story. You have to write the user story properly first. It will go and read all the code bases like this agent was able to read that are relevant for this user story. It will go and read all the existing test cases. And finally, that agent has all the knowledge. What is the requirement? It got it from the the Jira board or Azure board. What is the requirement it got? What is the existing code where it has to modify? It understood all the code base. Even if you have these documents generated for the code base, you give it as an input. And then you give the existing uh, postman collection or the test cases that you have. And now you just add another stage to this agent, generate the code or update the code accordingly. It will automatically go and update the exact code that is asked as per the user story requirement. And finally, you have already created test cases for this requirement. Ask this agent to also test it on top of it. And then what you can do is ask it to repeat that for the time until the time all the test scenarios have passed, and then ask it to deploy it to an environment. And finally, you as a developer or even a product owner, business analyst, or a tester can go and verify. Which means if you extend this, we can replace ourselves. Developers will not be needed. Maybe few senior developers are needed, but we are going to lose our jobs now. And this company, Anthropic, has built these kind of things. But as I said, companies will not blindly use those because of other reasons. So we are lucky that this company wants to build their own, and that's where you can use this time to learn and implement it in your company. Forget about the job replacement. It is going to happen. It's inevitable. Your job, my job, tester's job, everything will disappear. It will become lean, not in the volume of people that we need today. It won't be there. I can, this kind of agent I've already built in my company, which does already this. It generates the code, modified it by reading a user story. The only problem that I'm facing is people don't write proper user stories. So if I ask the organization I need support to make sure the BA writes user stories properly, the and add we add another agent which checks if the user story is written according to the standard specified. Otherwise, the user story cannot be saved. And if the organization supports that, then we are done, right? Everyone is forced to write proper user stories with proper documentation, proper details, proper explanation, the acceptance criteria. Then that agent will start to perform like any other developer. So if I'm able to do it in my organization, there are far more intelligent people, at least in US and China and Europe, who can also do that, and they are already doing that. So this is another use case. I will show you the next one. Not this one doesn't have to be implemented in your company, but I'm showing you one example where you can create a technical analysis stock market agent. And this can run every day. If you want to do intraday trading, it can run maybe if you want to do hourly trading, it can run every hour to tell you what are the stocks that you can buy, what should be the stop loss, what should be the sorry, what should be the target to enter a particular trade. All those it can tell you. I will show you that example. Give me just one sec. I will have some water. So this kind of stock market analysis agents you can build, and you can even integrate it to the APIs of different stockbrokers like Grow, Zerodha, and they can do trades on behalf of you. I've built one and it works fine for me. I kind of have a good risk to reward ratio. I will show you that. You can further fine tune it to be even more precise. So I ask it to run it on the whole stock market, Indian stock market, and also crypto market and this. And what it does is basically it takes the Nifty 500 stocks and it for one day, for 4 hours, 10 minutes, 20 minutes, whatever I want, it basically runs through different strategies, different technical indicators like EMA, crossovers, different chart patterns. It also goes through different chart patterns, bullish chart pattern and bearish chart pattern. And then finally it creates a report for me whether I should trade a stock or not, number one. And if I should trade, what should be the stop loss. So there's the whole explanation what it is doing. It checks EMA crossover, and here it gives 20% weightage. It checks for MACD 15% weightage, RSI 12% weightage, VWAP volume. All these are manually checked by traders in their day-to-day job. They are sitting in the screen and checking all this to happen on different. The super trend indicator 12% with support resistance, whether the stock is breaking support or is on the resistance 10%. Divergences, price volume, candlestick patterns, it detects chart pattern, it detects, and then finally it creates some kind of scoring system. It says if it any stock out of 100, 100 is extremely bullish. If it is greater than 50, strong bullish, highly confident, go ahead and just buy blindly. If it is between 20 and 50, moderately bullish, and then if it is this neutral, and finally it also gives me the two take profits and two stop losses target, and it explains all the strategy here, how the strategy for long positions bullish signals, and for bearish if I want to short the stock. I will now show you the example. All this were explanation how it does this. Let's say when I ran this last for 1 day data, it said Bandhan price was trading as this, RSI was this and this, and it checked both the 20 EMA. If the stock was above 20 and 50 EMA, in last 20 days it has increased by this much. Support is this, resistance is this. There is no price divergence. There is no this. VWAP is this, and it is saying it found a double bottom uh, chart pattern, and it is giving me a score of 35.6 out of 100. It is saying moderately bullish, consider buying, and then it is telling why it is telling me considering buying. Based on all these parameters, it is telling me the calculated this score, and it is asking me to buy, and it is saying if you buy, keep a stop loss of this levels and profit of these levels, like and then you can go ahead and buy. So it automatically calculated the stop loss. 148, sorry, 153 is the current market price. So the first stop loss it said, put it in 148.40. Second one 1%. The first target of profit you can go up to here, and then the second one is. So I can build another just integration, or I can do it agent wise, or I can just write another script which calls, let's say, grow API or zero the API and places this order for this stock. Same way, I can check this whole list for moderately bullish or highly bullish stocks and place those orders. And you see this is another one, Bharat Dynamics Limited, another stock. So it continues to go and do that for all the stocks in a particular time frame, 1 day. If I want to do daily trade or 4 hours, I can do this. 10 minutes also I can 20. So it doesn't matter now. I have the data, I have the agent. Agent can do the analysis using the LLMs, and then it can give me this. So there is a technical indicator or technical analysis. Same way, I can also combine it with sentiment analysis and fundamental analysis. I can create another two agents. What it will do is go and read the last few years quarterly reports, check if the revenues are increasing, if the debt is not increasing, all those things. And I can create another one which will check the news and the sentiments in social media, Twitter, Reddit, and create a sentiment. Then I will have information from technical, from fundamental, and from the sentiment. And then even I can take better trades. So now you think, if this kind of agents I am able to build, what do you think the big organization like the BlackRock and the JP Morgan Chase, they are not building it. They must have also already built it, and now they may be further improving it for algo trading. Slowly, all other organizations will go into that direction. So this was something I wanted to show. Apart from the things that I showed for the let's say this our regular day-to-day work, but there are many more use cases that you can easily go and implement, and you can be the star in your organization today itself. Now there can be one challenge. At least the other all the organizations, at least in the Europe and many organizations in the US, they haven't allowed employees to have access to large language models programmatically. What I mean is, all these agents that I have built, they are working now programmatically. They are using Google Gemini model. This is my key. I will get rid of it now in a couple of minutes. And then I'm asking it to use this model. But unfortunately, companies organization will not give you this particular access now. What they say is we are building a central AI team who will make sure if it is uh, secure enough, it is not causing our brand image to go down, only then we will allow. Which means you can't build agents anymore. You're stuck. Even though you have ideas, you can't build. This kind of agent way of building, you can integrate it in your pipeline also. Then it runs automatically. But because many companies already allow tools like GitHub Copilot, cursors, and this, you can at least build similar agents in those tools. Example, I will show you. This is GitHub Copilot. Here also you can build agents. I have just built an agent called Java PR agent, which uses certain tools. Tools I will learn about it later, but tools helps agents to talk to the outside world. So now using these tools, this agent is able to do a code review and prepare me this report. So if I'm able to do this with Copilot, so it did a code review of this code base. I did not ask it to create it in a certain format, so it created it this way. It said that there's a password issue here, vulnerable, and this is according to this was violation. And there's also it's saying sensitive information. This exposure can happen here. Input validation does not exist, so the injection can happen. Cross-site scripting or SQL injection. Authentication is not proper. It's saying there's also medium here, medium issues. So what you can do is you can build agents in your existing organization, and when you do now you do PR review manually, you can ask this agent to do that PR review, and then it will generate a report like this of the PR review report, and then it will also push this report to the pull request who raised, and that person will get email notification, and the person can fix those based on this report. You can say at least fix the medium and high ones, forget the low ones, and then when the person says it's fixed, you run this agent again, and then if it is really done, it will not give any issues, then you can just approve it. Now you just think how much time it will save, because 90% times we are always busy when we get a pull request review request. So either we don't do the review at that time, because of which it delays the merging of the change and delays the deployment, and everyone is blaming each other. The sprint is over and I was not able to do this. I was waiting for PR review. I was waiting for testing. These kind of problems are daily problems. And we don't have to build, let's say, Gemini or Grok model or video engine to solve these problems. Can build small agents to solve this problem. And now with this, the quality of review is increasing. I'm 100% sure whenever we are doing review, we hardly check solid principles, hardly check design patterns. Even the quality tools like Sonar Cube also don't do those. So now you are going to check those also with this, which means you are checking these solid principles, design patterns, so many your violations you are checking, the security things you are checking now, clean code principles you are checking, sustainability you are checking, test coverage you are checking, everything you are checking now, which is impossible to do a check while doing a PR review manually. You cannot remember all these things when you're just seeing static code. But this agent can do that. It does it very well. So second is your code is actually improving in quality if this kind of review happens. And if I run this agent now, any of the big organization master branches, it will definitely find so many vulnerabilities. Even those were reviewed in the past by senior leads or people. Doesn't matter, it will find vulnerabilities because humans are humans and machines are machines. Machines are much better in doing these things. So now, Subrat, can you go ahead and show the first demo if you are ready?
Can you hear me? Hello?
Yes, Subrat.
Yeah, let me share my screen. I'll show the.
Yeah, thank you.
Just let me know once you are able to see my screen.
Yeah, it's loading. By the time it's loading, I will quickly do a voiceover of this use case. So this is a use case which you can implement anywhere. It is agentic RAG-based use case where it is connected to certain file system where all your organization files are there. It is connected to database where real-time data is getting inserted, and it is connected to also other sources which are generating reports in PDF formats, those kind of things. And then you want to basically chat with those things. Now it is text-based chat. You can also add voice-based to it. And the things which you can do with this, I will just mention about the demo, what you can do with this in your organization. Go ahead, Subrat.
Yeah. So currently the system that I'm showing is for societies. So if you are living in a society and then you want to know the SOPs of that society, you don't have to wait for an email from the association seeking for that society and then getting it after once they revert back to you. You can directly ask it on this kind of a bot. Say, for example, parking rules. I want to know the parking rules of the society. Now, if I just type this, and this data has been already fed and trained, so it can be done for any society. So it is done for currently my society, and if you see, it already is giving um, parking rules. Vehicles of owners are allowed, visitors are allowed, and this is from coming from a document which the society has already created. So it takes data from all the PDFs that are PDFs, Excel, Word that has been fed to the system, and then from there it is pulling the data. If you want, it can also give you that particular document. Currently, it is giving only the uh, set of rules since we asked for the rules, but it can give you the whole document as well. It can give you forms, it can give you uh, uh, numbers and things like that. Say, for example, you want to know the doctors near me, or maybe shops near me. Yeah. So if you see, these are the shops that are available near me. There are certain shops who have a paid membership and they are sponsored ones. So they are on top. And the other ones which are not sponsored are coming just after that.
Maybe
Okay.
type
Then
move out form.
yeah. 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 If you see this, if you ask for a move out form, it tells you whom to write that mail to, what are the move out charges, from when you can do that. So wherever there is a problem of say thousands or hundreds of people questioning to a particular group, this query or this query bot can be of great help, where they don't have to answer to each queries. Think of this query bot being used in a railway platform where there are lakhs of people moving in every day and they have a lot of queries about train, about when it is coming, why it is delayed, what are the facilities there, and things like that. They can just get their answer from the bot itself. And we can think it as a kiosk where these can be deployed, and then in that kiosk, people can go ahead and ask. Right now, we are typing it. It can be in regional languages.
It can be voiceovers via voice, where they can press a button mic and then put forward their question, and it can reply to them in the same language. So this can be very helpful bots.
Yeah. So this of course use case can be other also, like let's say if you hook it to a hospital or a clinic or the multiple hospitals, then you can also ask it to create appointments booking. You don't have to call.
Yeah.
You can check into the database of that hospital for the doctor's availability, and then it can basically provide you some availability, and then it can do that also, create this. So it is, that's why it's called agentic RAG is one part, but it can also take actions and do the things that you asked for it. And then if the database is updated with other availability, it will say maybe availability not found. Same way the documents can also change on the fly. If the documents are changing, this system automatically knows the latest information, so it is also up to date. So this is one use case. You're done, right, Subrat?
Yeah. So just to add to that, to what Ranjan said, this bot can be used on web, can be used on WhatsApp, can be used on any social media platform. It can be integrated in any such platforms.
Yeah, good point. So basically, uh, think of it as an API. An API you can integrate anywhere, right? So any channel. Today it's let this one Telegram. So it can be Telegram, WhatsApp, or it can be also in another system in the existing organization. Maybe the organization is using some other software. They want to also integrate this kind of things, so they can connect this via just API calls. So now how can you basically, this can be a startup thing that you can do all things around this, but how can you do something in, you can find or think of many use cases. I can give you many examples, but you can also think of yourselves. So let's say many people are raising incidents and issues every day, and then uh, also the whole, if you use ServiceNow as a platform, other things, then you need to find out. Many times look for it manually and go and find out things. But what if you can chat with those systems in normal languages? Then the people like product owners, business analysts can also understand the issues and understand the incident that are getting raised. It's not only that technical people have to look into incident management. So incident management can become even better. Maybe Subrat, you can stop sharing the phone.
Oh yeah, yeah. I'll stop sharing.
You're getting a call. Yeah. So what is happening is the whole talking to technology is becoming easier. It is becoming like the English language based now, but in India, people are trying to build models which are going to be also not on English but regular language. I mean, your Kannada or Hindi, Odia, you can talk to those systems in that language also. So it's going to give power to more and more people. And in the organization, another use case you can do for this is, like with the document generation agent, you can build documents for your project. Same way, other people will build documents for other projects. And then there will be a moment all the projects in the organization have built documents for themselves, and they have integrated it to a pipeline, and that document is constantly getting updated also. And now you can build a rack system on top of the all the documents generated from the code, which is real time. You can build an agentic rack system. It can go and talk to those documents. So you can ask queries about certain implementation, certain questions, and it will suggest from there. So you can build a complete chat system on top of that. Similarly, if you have many APIs in your organization, because every organization is built on top of APIs, so thousands of documents around APIs. And as an architect or engineer, where you will go and find what? You can ask these kind of systems to in just English that I have a new requirement. I have to build this. Can you look it up? Which APIs will help me? It will go and browse through all these documents created from those API specs, or just browse through those API specs and tell you you can use this API for this API for this, and use the output of this to as an input of that. As an architect, you are already reducing your half of the workload which goes into this. And then about creating sequence diagram, flow diagram, I already showed how it creates that. So there's no single role which this, I would say, disruption or GenAI wave is not touching. Everyone will be getting impacted in IT industry, and slowly it will fall down to other industries in future. Real estate will get impacted, banking sector will get impacted, because if people will start to lose jobs, they won't have money left to buy real estate. They don't have money to renovate their house every 1 year. So automatically other sectors sales will reduce, and new house purchases will reduce. The big cities today that we see will not be as big as it will be it is today, right? Why, if there's, let's say, one organization has 6 lakhs people now, and they will reduce 3 lakhs of them, do you think the cities like Bangalore, Pune, and these will be so crowded? Why people will stay there? Why will they buy real estate there if they don't have a job there anymore? So if they don't buy real estate, why will somebody take a housing loan? So again, banking will also get impacted. Why will somebody buy a car or a luxury bike? Why will somebody go on uh, 10 days holidays to, let's say, Mauritius or Switzerland if they don't run? So we will see it's not that impact only going to come to IT industry. It is hitting IT industry first. It is slowly going to boil down to other areas. Let's say companies are now shutting down, reducing the employee capacity. They will shut down the buildings. They will go get rid of the lease agreements they have with for SEZs. Then think about the people who work there, the maintenance staff, cleaning staff, and the regular people, the area around that where people are earning as hawkers or other, let's say, day-to-day sellers they have. So all this will drastically reduce. So what we are dealing with is, as I said initially, this time it is different, and this is air disruption that happens maybe in centuries once. So we should take this seriously, and it is going to hit everyone. But let's try to see and get the benefit first. And as someone said, it's not only our generation which is getting hit. The following generation will be really hit harder. Our kids, our children, because the education system that is now is worthless. Investing time, money in those education system is worthless. What is taught in schools today is just one prompt away from any LLM. You just give one prompt, it's there. What they are teaching in schools. So applied or application oriented education, critical thinking, reasoning, innovation, those will become more relevant, and this all these things will slowly die down, the traditional education things. So it's going to impact our next generation also. Hence, if we are empowered, and in this field early, we can also guide other people also early, and avoid wasting time and money in the traditional way of things that was happening. Colleges will shut down. Why do you need so many engineers if there are not so many jobs? So in future we are seeing China is building hospitals which are just operated by robotic doctors and very few human doctors. So those things will also flow to our country also, and there will be also impact. So it's going to be a big impact. And of course, we should not be scared of all this, but we should be embracing all this, that this is happening and this is the new reality, and try to live with it. I think I will pause for a couple of minutes for questions or maybe doubts or your views on this, what we are trying to do here. And that's the reason when Sugat started, he said, we are not doing this for money, but actually we are doing it for a genuine cause, for what is coming. The biggest unfortunate part is we being in IT sector are ourselves not aware what is coming to the extent that we are going to know now in this course. Think about other people who are not in the IT sector. They will be continuing to do the traditional education and all those things for their kids. And after 20 years or 15 years, they will come to know about this. It was all worthless. So that will be itself a big waste for them. So we should be lucky that we are here. And if you find people who are in your circle, try to educate them so that they are aware of what is coming and they just don't stay as a consumer of this technology, technical or the trend. Instead, they also become some kind of contributor and take advantage of this trend. Having said that, any questions or viewpoints on this topic so far, what we discussed?
I have a question. So, what is the percentage of error this agents can do? Because an organization, in an organization, if you want to automate certain processes, right? Let's suppose this was good. The one that you showed, like get hold of all the source code and give the agent the source code details and the user story, and then on top of it, the architect or the BA can go and search from there. There are chances of error that this agent can do, and then the implementation, the derivation that the BA would derive and that will pass to the developers, the next level of coding that they will do, there are chances of huge error if if a small requirement goes, you know, not in the right direction as required by the business. Then
Yes. So this was a concern in 2023 when the LLMs came, right? In 2022, this was a big concern raised in 2023. So companies worked on it. The LLM provider they worked on it, and they built guardrails around this to not let the LLM hallucinate and do errors, and start thinking strictly as humans do, because humans also imagine something and as human do things. So this is an intelligence which is outside human, so it is artificial intelligence. So wherever there is intelligence, it will try to assume and imagine. That's what we call hallucinate, and that's where the chances of creating error is high. To stop that, what is important is to provide more context to these systems. What I mean more context is, you if you type one liner thing to this model, give me this, it will give you that kind of rubbish answer. So if you give garbage in, garbage out will come. But if you tell it, you have to take a role of senior architect, and then you have to go through this and read this, understand this in this way that an architect does. Make sure you don't assume and things. Make sure you read this document and analyze this in this format. Inputs can be in this format, output should be in this format. Then make sure to run as the test on top of it to analyze what you understood, re-review what you read, and check. So you have to be very thorough. Maybe one or two page or three pages of instruction you have to create the prompt first. Then you have to give multiple sources of information. So if you just give a user story and ask it to go and modify the code, it will not do good. Maybe 50% it will do good. But if you give a user story properly, then you will give your existing functional documents, and you will also give the existing test cases, and you will give your existing code base to it. Then chances of error that has been observed drastically reduces to not even 10%. And 10%, if it is also causing that problem, it may be you are not using a better model. You should use a good model, AI LLM model. You should use the Cloud Sonnet models, which are best. You should use Cloud Opus, which is even better than that. So these models are tuned for doing exactly these things, the IT industry work. And that's where you further reduce it to another 5% of error, if at all there is. Because the way we things which we have been using, it is perfect, accurate. Even it's beating humans. If I was doing review, the agents which they are doing now, when I run them in my organization, it's doing far better than review done by anyone. I have shown it to hundreds of developers are now using those agents in our organization. They would not even in dreams would have done review like that. So it's already surpassing the quality of humans by way big margin. The 5% chance of the error that it will be there. That's why the organizations, instead of having 10 people, will still keep 2 people. And those 2 people will do the input and output review of the the content produced by these models. And that's where we have to go. In those 2%, the company is keeping 2% in the project instead of 10. We have to try to be in that 2% who knows coding also, who knows programming also, who knows architecture, design, and other things, and now also knows how to use these LLMs, tune them, build agent systems, integrate it. So those are the 2% that we have to become. So definitely errors will be there. Over the period, those errors will also disappear. And we are moving towards super intelligence, right? And artificial general intelligence. By that time, all these errors will be even gone.
Hey,
Yeah.
Ranjan, I'll take a pause here and then maybe get some feedback from those who have not spoken. Let's take a feedback and see what is it that they want to learn from the upcoming sessions. So I'll just try to ask few people. Maybe Upasana, if you can tell us your feedback on what we spoke about today, and what is it that you expect from the upcoming sessions.
Yeah, hello everyone.
Hey, hi, Upasana. Yeah, please go ahead.
Yeah, the session was quite nice. It gave information about how the IT industry will be impacted by AI and its ripple effect on other sectors as well. So, my expectation from this session will be that how we can use agentic AI as immediately as possible in other upcoming projects. Be it whether any domain like Java, full stack development, data science domain, as Gen AI is interfering in each and every domain.
Yeah, yeah. So what we would like to get from you is maybe if you can share your suggestions, maybe on the WhatsApp group, on if you want to build a system, if you want to build a small agent that would help you. Maybe we can take that into consideration and plan something to build during the 100 hours.
Yeah, sure.
Thanks for the feedback, Upasana. Soumya. Soumya, you are there?
Hello.
Hey, hi, Soumya.
Yeah, actually I'm traveling. Although I was like traveling more, I last session. I'm actually from a non-tech background.
Yeah.
I'm a research scientist by profession from the biotechnology. And mostly this session was good. I like it. And in coming sessions, I, as a non-tech person, want to understand actually how this agentic AI works. Because in my profession, I'm a growth manager come scientific editor, a senior scientific editor. So I mostly screen through research papers and find out the flaws and all these things. And in my field, I have gone through multiple AI tools, almost all peer review tools that has been launched by different scientific companies.
Okay.
We have found certain fundamental flaws. So we need to understand actually that what are the reasoning issues going on and what are the limitations of the agentic AI currently going, so that we can work upon it. Even I myself is trying to develop 2 tools, although having no coding tech background. So I need to understand in a very clarity, the depth. That's what actually happens. I'm expecting this 100 hours to be very much fruitful to me, so that in future even I can look for building something of my own.
Thank you, Soumya. So we will take that into consideration, and maybe we'll come up with something that helps you trying to achieve what you are trying to achieve. Ramesh?
Hello, Subrat. Hi everyone.
Yeah.
Yeah. So from this session, I understood like so in what are the I mean instead of just utilizing the AI tools in our day-to-day work, so we can basically build some AI bots or AI agents to fulfill our needs. I mean our daily work basically instead of just utilizing our existing tools. So like for example, Ranjan has mentioned whenever a PR has been raised, so there will be an agent to review the PR, and then wherever the improvements are needed, so that report will be generated from that, and it will be helpful for us to save the time and all those things. So if we implement those things in our workplace, so that will be helpful for I mean everyone, like whoever raising the PR and whoever reviewing the PR, for both of them. So these kind of the examples basically how to develop those things. So if we can learn those things from I mean from these boot camp, so it will be helpful for us. So I'm looking for those kind of the learnings. Super.
Yeah, so there is a mixed blend of tech and non-tech folks in this session. So we will take
Okay.
suggestions from all of them, and then try to see which use case, if we consider, helps both the audiences, Ramesh. So maybe
Definitely.
yeah, we would take your suggestions also. So please drop in whatever ideas you have
Okay.
on the WhatsApp group, so that we can
Okay.
take those into consideration, and then we'll try to get as much as we can in those 100 hours. We'll try to utilize them.
Sure, definitely.
I
Yeah,
have
in the
one more
upcoming
question.
sessions also.
Yeah.
So, I mean, want to learn, like, I mean, as Ranjan mentioned, so based on Python, we will do our learnings, right? So, how these agentic AIs will work, and then what are the LLMs and all. So, I'm looking forward to learn all those things too, because in future we may need to build some agentic AI tool means. So, these basics will be helpful for us. Yeah.
Yeah,
Uh,
sure.
I think so that I would quickly share my screen.
Yeah.
So the curriculum, I think then it will give more ideas to where we are heading towards. Let me know if you are seeing my screen. So this is the planned curriculum on a very high level. It is not detailed. There will be a detail in each topic. So we will just try to understand the evolution of whole AI, and then supervised and supervised learning, deep learning, transformers, GPT. Then we will enter into, because you should also understand these things. There's computer vision and how in the old days it was done. We will not go and do those things, like not implement the old way of traditional AI algorithms, because it's not needed now, because powerful LLMs are now there doing more than that what we used to do in the past. But from where we started and where we come today, we must definitely know from interview perspective, but also from your base fundamentals perspective. It's very important, and we will understand all this in a very simple language. Even a kid, even a fifth class kid can understand, and we will be able to explain to others. In that format, we will learn these things, because if you are learning, it's fine. But if you are learning and able to tell somebody, teach somebody, then I think that's the best way of learning, that you understood and you are able to also teach somebody. Then we'll go to Gen AI, LLMs, different models, language, audio, vision, vision models, all those things we will cover. Prompt engineering, we will learn properly, system and user the prompts that we write. Then we'll learn about Python in practical way. We will learn about rack systems, then agents and different kinds of agentic frameworks. Just don't think that this is one thing. Like we have different languages, right? Java, PHP, Python, .NET. Same way we have many agentic frameworks. Which one to use and which company is using what? We should also know that, and we should know, at least learn the popular ones. Then just building agent is not going to help. It should be developed and then deployed in the Dockerized multi-agentic system to act together as one system, because this is how organizations operate. It should be in a complete proper CI/CD manner. All the agents should work. Like we deploy softwares and APIs today and front end, you should be able to deploy into that multi-agentic architecture of that organization, your own uh, agent also you should be able to build and deploy. That will work in collaboration with other agents. Because in future, what will happen is every organization will also host agents apart from their own APIs. Now APIs are being exposed, right? Different organization exposes the APIs. Now they will also expose MCP servers and also their agents. So an agent of, let's say, X organization, Uber organization agent can talk to the payment gateway agent of Razorpay. So those kind of systems are also getting built. Then we'll learn about MCP protocol. What are they? They are a wrapper on top of agentic system. You must have heard of MCP servers, model context protocol. This is huge in the industry. You must know how to build MCP servers. Then of course the repository Hugging Face, OpenRouter, Grok. This will help us use AI models free of cost. You don't have to put any money in doing this course and demo. All those are available free of cost. I will show you how to do that. And finally, the goal should be start implementing as many as enterprise use cases in your project, or if you are thinking of any startup ideas, go ahead and do that. This is our main goal, the last one. And for achieving that, whatever is needed, I will teach you in a very simple layman terms, and you will be able to implement them. You will be able to build a portfolio of it, because we talked about all these things, right? Why learn it Gen AI? Then there's also something called cover companies' expectations from you. So we will go through this. Career options. What do you expect? A 5+ years experienced person is now getting 35 LP as average CTC in this domains. And then I will also explain how to switch your job, how to get into new jobs. So all this is coming. So everything is already thought of, and the feedback that you are giving now or sharing more input, please do that. And also, if possible, put it in the WhatsApp group so that we can incorporate in the curriculum. Yeah, that's it, Subrat.
Yeah, so Prasoon had a question. I think Prasoon, can you go ahead?
Yeah, actually, it was a nice session, and whatever you are said, it's very true because I was observing this from last 6 months, the AI capabilities, and actually, I'm from DevOps background, cloud DevOps background.
Mhm.
So I want to know about how could I enhance, like how could I add these things, because in DevOps is also a vast domain. So I have the understanding of all the DevOps environment life cycle and how real-time DevOps will work. Even with the programming knowledge from development to deployment, I have end-to-end knowledge, and even uh, solving the outages, the production fixes, the failures of the scaling, and all these things. So how here this agentic AI will fits in, and how you will see this will going in near future.
Yeah. So, Prasoon, as I said, right, at this moment, organizations are focusing on implementing more and more use cases in the internal, non-customer facing world, which is SDLC lifecycle, DevOps, release management, incident handling. So, definitely, we will implement some use cases which is going to improve your current DevOps way of working, improve your incident handling, alerting, monitoring, dashboarding, and the release process, so that there will be less incidents, faster releases, and proactively already your system detects if something is going to give an error or problem in future. So there's a big scope of applying agentic AI. So we will have some use cases around that. So yeah, good point that you raised, how it will help in DevOps. But then it's covered, so you should just focus along the course. You will get those situations also.
Actually, nowadays, what is happening, like Claude launches their security scanning tool, and they are saying that it is way more than the cyber security expert, and the vulnerability is left over for 50 years. They are humans are not able to find, but their agentic tool is able to find. So like that, how you will see like in non in it, it will happen in the customer facing also currently in this year, like uh, uh, where all the business critical workloads are there. Suppose I am running a e-commerce website, and it I am handling around 12 to 14 million traffic per day. So actively we are actively I am handling only single person because it is a startup. But do you see any reduce in the trend, like the workforce, like only less people were there?
Yeah, so you raised a couple of things. See,
Yeah.
there's all when this kind of disruptive technology comes, there's also a hype. When blockchain came, it was a hype. Banks will shut down and the banking system will go. Blockchain is already 15 years now. Banks still exist, but blockchain is also coming mainstream now. Even though most 99% of the blockchain currencies that you see doesn't have any real world use case, still they have good market capitalization. So here also it is happening the same thing. Companies like Claude and these and that, they are coming and saying we have built this that will disrupt. We have built this that is going to take away job of financial advisors. They will do this that. It will continue to happen. But as I said, big organizations will not adopt these technologies very easily, which is built by these third party people. They have concerns around privacy data. How is the model trained? What kind of data they have used to train the model? And what are the guardrails that their internal organization data doesn't get leaked? And that is exactly where they will take the idea from those team companies like Claude and other people or Anthropic, and maybe Google build something tomorrow and try to implement it in their organization. Maybe they will even use the model, but not the outside one, the hosted one, and fine tune it on top of it. And that's where you will come into picture as engineer, and where exactly you will come ML ops. Now you're doing DevOps, you should know
Yeah.
ML ops. Those model will be trained with the continuous flow of pipeline. So how it will work in the real world is, let's assume there's a bank is having everyday transaction, people are doing transactions, money is coming in coming out, bank is giving loan, bank people are opening account, and KYC checks are happening, so a lot of data is flowing in flowing out. So you have to first build a data pipeline system using Databricks or ADF or other things, so that data continuously flows. Then ETL process should happen, which will do the cleaning of the data. Then existing model which is running in production should not be touched. There will be a dev environment of the model or test. There you further train this with the new data. Then there will be a benchmarking process. Then there will be evaluation process of this model. And then finally deployment to staging, deployment acceptance, and then finally production deployment. So this process, as I said, is about ML ops. So there you will be involved. And then monitoring of the model. When somebody asks a question to the model, what was the prompt? How did the model process the prompt? How many tokens did it use? Because we will also learn about other things. Just building solution is not good. Is it efficient solution? Is it cost optimized? Is the model using the optimized number of tokens and within the context window? And is it hallucinating or not? All these things needs to be built by whom? People like you, after you all will get trained, and that's what the organization is looking for. So there will be a lot of job, 170 million jobs, which is like 17 crores jobs are going to get
Yeah.
created. And what are those people going to do? Exactly this what I just explained.
Yeah, it's true. Because I have another question, like in finance domain, people are already talking about from last 4 5 years. Every day workshops are coming, like they have built some algo traders and all these things. Why people are not putting their real money and ask agent to do the trade on behalf of me? And will they make 100% time they will make the profit? Because in share market everybody talks like, na, it's a chance, like you will get money or you will lose the money also.
Right.
So be at on own risk.
Yes. So that's a very good point. That see that and that bigger organization have even bigger stake at hand and in terms of brand identity. So they will not rush into things. They all see this process which was supposed to happen in 20 years now accelerating and happening in 10 years. The whole migration and modernization, all this. So that change will happen. But that 10 years at least those people are needed, right? Who knows the old world, who is now going to know the new world, and understand the best practices around security, performance, cost, and do the implementation. So you have to become a consultant, a Gen AI architect or consultant, and then go into this field with all the knowledges. And a consultant always keeps suggesting also when he sees problems or opportunities. So that is what you should also try to become from this course. So that's why I said I will also not only talk about technology, but real situations in the organization when you encounter and how you come up with that. Because if you come up with an idea, there will be 20 other people who will be in the denial mode and they will be ready to shoot down your idea. So how will you prove that your idea is fine? So yeah, so I will also teach those things, how to handle those corporate politics or corporate arrogance, whatever you call. Okay.
Yeah, it's true. Yeah, it's true. Because because as you said now, 35 LPA. I was thinking like I'm under 10 LPA, having struggled so much and learn so much thing every time I want to upskill. So how I going to be that like something
Yes.
be in the trend? Because we started as a DevOps, DevSecOps, this that, but suddenly it's a 360 turn, like everybody is talking about AI, agentic AI, the capabilities and all these things.
Yes. And it's quite vast. That's why we are here to help you all navigate by learning the amount it's needed to survive and grow in the industry. Because we cannot master everything. It's impossible. But we should know things that is needed for our growth and career, for the future career. So we will do that in this course.
Yeah, I think we are 15 minutes past the block time. So what I will request all of you to do is please drop your ideas of what agents you would like to build alongside the course, and maybe few of the things will be picked up. We will analyze what will suit both the audiences, and then we'll pick few which we can develop during the overall 100 hours, and see how much we can accomplish. So I would ask all of them who are here to drop their ideas, because that would be a real help. We can pick those ideas and then see which one would be a good fit. And second thing, what I would like you guys to do is, uh, I will be sharing the post for joining this sessions, and maybe if you could just repost that in your LinkedIn profiles so that it can reach out to a larger audience and more number of people get impacted, because it is really important that Ranjan is giving us time. He is already busy with his task, and he has found time um, um, to put this 100 hours alongside us and help everyone. So the more we could pull in and more gets benefited from this session would really be a help to everyone. So I would ask all of you to just repost that in your LinkedIn channel so that it reach out to your friends or someone who is in need, and then he can also get benefited from the program.
Yeah.
Yeah, thank you everyone. Thank you for your time, and hope you all had a good 2 hours of learning. And we'll see you tomorrow.
So that I have one small question. Somebody asked, will the recording be provided?
Yeah, the recording will also be provided. Yes, we are recording this, and then we'll either we'll put it on YouTube or maybe we'll grant you access to the recording. Yeah.
Okay. Thanks everyone. Then I think we'll see you all tomorrow. And as Sugat said, please spread the word, help everyone, whoever is in the need.
Yeah. Thank you. Thanks a lot.
Thank you all.
Bye.
Thank you all.